roll out, the bunch riding past, and here we are. Another Saturday, another Norton Summit video. Alright, so this is the Super Elliott ride every Saturday morning. Rail, hail, or shine. Originated by Alan Gill from Super Elliott's on Ruddle Street there. 8 o'clock, they leave the city and they roll past around 8:18, 8:20 past here, Norton Summit. So it's about 6 kilometres from the city to the start of this climb. Norton Summit, and this is the hardest part of the ride. The rest of the ride's fairly chill. This is the race pace on the climb. You can already see the riders up the front just really hitting it hard. So I've got to see the riders there. There's a car sort of in the bunch there, sort of splitting things up a bit. So I've got to move up quick. The pace is already on, and I was sleeping at the back there a bit. I try and start at the back just so you get a perspective of how big the bunch is. And then also moving up. But you want to move up quick. So the pace is, I'm doing about 500 watts here. Just trying to move up the bunch. Sit on this rider's wheel here. And I thought this is a good sit. I think we'll cruise up at a sustainable pace and then get up to the front. But I was wrong, because the front is already lit. I've got to be doing 700 watts to get up to the front. So I missed this boat. Didn't realise at the time. But yeah, that's what I mean. That's why in the pro peloton, positioning is so important, because look at that. Look at the front there. There's already splits. All right, there's already splits. So we're doing we're going uphill at like 30k an hour pretty much. So you got to get that draft. You got to be up there. Otherwise, that's like 10-second gap there. That's 10-second gap at the start of the climb. So to close that 10-second gap, you're going to be doing 1200 watt sprint just to close the gap, and then you're going to be blowing up potentially. Okay, so yeah, you got to be in it. All right, so I've got a little bit of a group here going on. Junior rider there next Ryan Underwood, and doing well, as you'll see later on. So I'm just sitting here thinking this is a good sit. We're just going to go past riders, catch riders who got dropped from that front group, and before we know it, in a few minutes we'll be up the front. But you can sort of see the front is sizzling. The gap is still there, and the riders are getting shelled off of that front group. The shrapnel. So basically going around the shrapnel here. Again, this is positioning's everything. This is we wanted to be at the very front up there, but we didn't. I was sleeping at the back, wasn't I? So that just goes to show you, guys like Lance Armstrong or Pog or Co and Richie Port and just all the gang, all the crew, the GC riders, to be able to get this high ranking in GC in like a 3-week stage race. It requires a crazy amount of positioning, just always being on the positioning, always being ready there. And look at the gap now. Look at the gap. It's like in the horizon, in the sunset, gone. And I'm just like, holy crap! That's the bunch? That's the riders? So it's huge. So they hit the boosters, man. Look at that. Twin turbo rotary up the road, bro. All right. So yeah, so we're catching riders here that got dropped from that front group. So I totally slipped on this one. Anyway, let's just talk about tactics. So this is where you want to be always up the front when the climb starts. Right? If you're not, then you can get caught out like this, get caught out at the back. This is okay because this is just a YouTube video. But if this was a race, you want to make sure you're in that first 5 riders, at least first 10 riders go around the corner. Okay, so when it goes, you can jump on the wheel and be up there. You have to waste energy, waste glycogen closing the gaps because you're already up the front. Okay, this rider here doing a really, really good job, just consistent watts, tapping it out. Very tall rider, good sit, smooth rider. Obviously has racing experience, holding their line well, just doing it smooth. Doing it smooth. So clear road up ahead. We're just going to be passing riders from the Saturday morning festivities. So that's what you want to do. You always want to be on, paying attention. Yeah, so getting back to the GC riders, can you imagine that? Like a 3-week stage race, like if you just drop the wheel or whatever with your teammates bumble or something happens, just fumbling the spot in the bunch, and that can just be a game changer, career changer. Isn't it crazy? These are things you don't really appreciate unless you've raced at certain levels or really understand the tactics behind bike racing. It's not always the fittest person wins. There's an immense amount of tactics involved in especially positioning when the wind starts, or there's crashes, and then there's some people wait for you, some people don't. So it's like Lance Armstrong waiting for Jan Ulrich. So there's some riders will wait for in some situations, but overall it's such a hectic sport, man. And that's what makes someone like Pog or Lance Armstrong people who like it's consistently winning shit, or Valverde, that's pretty amazing. Because even some pro cyclists never win a bike race in their life, never win a professional bike race in the World Tour. Isn't that amazing? And you got guys like Lance or Pog who just cleaning shit up. Whatever they want to win, they're pretty much going to win it. Especially Pog, that's crazy how much he wins, man, and the positioning involved, and the crashes, and the skill in the bunch. It's like, I mean, there's so many things in cycling. Like, I have fitness and I have decent skills, but that's not a forte of mine in the bunch, because to really have good skills in the bunch, you have to be really willing to crash. Okay, you have to be really just like, well, this is just how it's going to happen. Because when you're in the middle of the bunch and riders crash in front of you, there's nothing you can really do but just brace yourself. You're going down. You're going down. So there's so much luck involved, and just, is it not caring? Is it courage? Is it bravery? Is it foolishness? Is it like form of self harm? Like what is it when you're in the middle of a bunch smashing at like 80k an hour down a hill? I guess you got all these bodies stacked around you, so if you do crash, you can sort of land on someone, or hopefully not a shroud of carbon handlebar sticks in your eyeball. It's hectic, man. It's hectic. So that always would spook me. In massive fast bunches smashing down hills, I'll be like, yeah, nah, because I've just seen the crashes, man. I've had crashes, and so I've been very lucky. So I've seen people have life-altering crashes, 20 plus years ago, and I guess that sort of spooked me early on. But I still love cycling, obviously, and that's what I love about this bunch. It's very safe up the hill. Not much can go wrong. I think in 20-something years doing this bunch, I've seen one crash up the hill, and then I think the rider just broke a spoke because he went into the derailleur of someone else, but everyone was just fine. So uphill time trials are a great way to learn how to ride the bunch, because the speeds are slower, and if you have a crash, you're going up a hill, so the momentum doesn't hit you as hard. Rider here, we're catching. This rider here was dropped off the pace. So you see, very fit looking, lean, young rider on a cyclocross bike, gravel bike. Just kidding, it's a Trek Madone. But yeah, it is a cyclocross bike, and that's what I love about these fast riders. I do appreciate them riding disc brakes, because that definitely robs some power from their legs, and it helps me, sort of keep up a bit better. I'm on this bike on this day. I think I was riding a Scott Addict rim brake, DR2 Durace rim brake. Pretty sure I was riding that bike on that day. If you want to see power data, I have been using a power meter recently again on these Saturdays, so just go to my Strava and you'll see another rider there on the left. He's a very strong rider as well. He got dropped from the front, so he's come back to us, which is good for me, because it's just extra footage, extra wheels to sit on. Why I don't pull a turn, it's not because I'm soft, or so partly, but it's just more so to just sort of show you, because it's more entertaining when you got riders in front. And so we've got Dean's coming back, Ryan's there. So yeah, this is a different riding styles. Look at this. So Dean, quite a taller rider, and he likes to push a bit of a lower cadence. And then you have, I think it's Ryan there, junior rider, spinning it, good technique, and so rides like his dad Nick as well. It's pretty cool. It's amazing genetics, isn't it? Like that, you can pass it down and pass down the fitness. Amazing. And hopefully your kids get into it. If they don't, then not much you can do about it. But yeah, this junior right here, I'm pretty sure it's Ryan. Correct if I'm wrong. He's doing really well, just sitting on the wheel. It's like you got that genetic ability to hold the wheel. That's what cycling's really about. It's just holding the wheel. Hold the wheel, and don't let your emotions get the better of you. Because sometimes you're holding the wheel and you're like, oh my god, this is too slow. Let me smash up the front, and then later you get blown off the back because you're just producing too much fatigue metabolites. Or sometimes you're thinking, I'm going to get dropped anyway, let me just get dropped sooner. And you just blast off the front and get dropped. And then you lose fitness that way because you don't really hold the wheel very long. I think the best way is always just to hold the wheel as long as you can. This rider here, he's not going to hold the wheel. He's going to roll off. He's done. He's thinking, no. Questioning the choices that morning. So he's going to drop the wheel. He's going to sit up and have another go another day. But it just goes to show the level here, man. This is tough. All these guys are experienced racers. Everyone here is raced. Div 1A grade. This is experienced level riders here. All right, so it's a sort of a level that if you're not having a good day, you're gonna get dropped. Okay, so there's no hard feelings. Like everyone in this bunch is a high level of fitness, and if you keep up, good work. If you get dropped, then yeah, it's hard. This ain't no easy bunch here. When no one gets, if you get dropped, no one waits for you on this bunch, on this Norton Summit part. It's like you get dropped, you get dropped. So this is how it is, and that's the cool thing, because when you can keep up, you've earned it, because no one's waiting for you. Okay, so that's part of the allure, isn't it? It's quite an interesting psychology. It's like no one's waiting for you, so it makes you want to push harder to keep up. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting setup, and that's part of the I think part of the allure of cycling is it is so brutal. It is the most brutal sport out there. It's the most dangerous sport out there. And look, what's the protective gear we're wearing? We're wearing lycra with a little 250 gram ice cream lid helmet. You know what I mean? And we expect it to go 100k an hour down the hill. Keep up. So it's precarious. And then you have disc brakes in there, which lock up way too easy and cause your bike to skid out of control. So it's even sketchy now, disc brakes. So it's a very interesting setup here. So right on the front here, look at him. He's just tapping it out, man. Just constant watts. Just a metronome of power, consistency. So this is a good guy to sit on, So I'm going to get a wide angle here, just move out the back so you can see more riders. More riders is better footage. And yeah. So let's talk about tactics now. Let's say this was a race. Then I'm in a good position here, aren't I? Because I can see every rider. I'm sitting on the last wheel, so I can, almost last wheel. I think Dean's still behind me. So I can keep an eye on the riders. If there's an attack, I can sort of cover it. So this is where tactically this is the best spot to be when it's a small group of riders on a relatively fast hill. Being at the back is good because you can see the riders' moves and you can sort of see their body language, etc. Right on the left here, strong guy, strong rider, and moving up there, one by chain ring, getting it done. So on the front, and then you have different personalities in the bunch. I like to obviously sit on when I've got the camera on because it's way more engaging versus just being on the front. You can't see anything, just the road in front. But otherwise, in the race, you want to pull your turns. You don't want to sit on. You don't have a reputation just sitting on and then sprinting people at the end. That's how you lose friends pretty quickly in local cycling community. So it's about pulling the turns, doing the bit. So in this situation, I'm sitting on the whole way. So even there will be a little mini sprint at the end. I won't come around anyone really. I won't come around for the first place because I'm sitting on. Okay, so that's sort of like respect there. If you're gonna sit on, cool, but don't come for the sprint. Okay, don't come for the sprint because that's just like it's not how it rolls. But then again, in bike racing, that can be how it rolls in the World Tour, obviously, with the tactics like that. So it depends. But it's better if everyone just pulls turns. And that's more even then, isn't it? It's more even than if everyone pulls turns and then whoever wins. But everyone pulled a turn. Another rider there, poof, he got off the back. So at the front, man, there was a furious pace to show all these riders off the back. Then there was a hectic, rapid pace, furious pace on the front. And this is why it's great, man. Is no one's waiting for you. This bunch ride is a bit like life. No one's waiting for you, man. You got to be ready, be organised, pump your tyres up, have your sugar in you, have your water bottles on, and go for it, and go for it. It is interesting times in bike tech as well. These new bikes cost a lot of money, and they're a pain in the ass to service. And I think that's actually a checkpoint. It is a gravel bike with road tyres in it. And that's the thing, if you're going to get a disc brake bike, you might as well get a gravel bike and just put road tyres on it, because then you got the big clearance if you want to go ride on the gravel roads. It's interesting, isn't it? So there's no such thing as a road bike anymore. It's more of a gravel bike with road tyres. So here we go, come up for the last 30 seconds, and you can see the riders here really just kind of eke out the last few bits of watts here. The junior rider here, Junior's doing well, isn't he? You can tell he's labouring, and there's a surge. Look at that, there's a surge there. So I'm just going to sit on white socks and just move up, just get a bit extra training in. There we go. And Dean's going to go for the sprint. He's like, durianrider's not going to go past me. I'm going to go past him. So, so we move up a bit there. A bit of banter's all good. But yeah, that's how it's done. Norton Summit. So we did like in third, low 14s or high 13s or something like that. Bit slower than my PR, but still good training and great footage, man. That's what we're here for. Get the footage. Adelaide life, man. Adelaide life. So again, you see all these riders here. Different physiology. Some riders quite sort of muscular. Some riders not as muscular. But everybody's lean. And everyone's doing the same watts per kilo. Okay, so to be in this group, you're going to be doing around 4.9 to 5.1 watts per kilo. Enjoy.